All right, so this is the size we're going to work with. This is what the styrofoam looks like. It doesn't look that different in the video, does it? No. So we'll put this over to the side.
They don't look different from here.
No, they look about the same. But the styrofoam feels different. So this is the paper you're going to plan it on. You can't plan it on the styrofoam because once you put a line in, it can't be erased. So we got to get it all worked out on this paper first, okay? So you have all these sketches you worked on, and we're going to sort of make some kind of arrangement like this. So you've probably planned like 6 or 7 different images, right? But you may want to choose like 3, maybe up to 5 images for this. When we look at the Jan Brewerton pieces, we remember that she, do I have any of them in here? That she had those like really cool borders on hers. She made them look like a cabinet somebody brought up. I think it was in this class.
That was me.
That was you? Awesome. I love that one. I've been using it. And then I like these like patterns that she's using. Also, you'll notice she has like some thicker lines and some thinner lines between them in different places. So what you're going to do once you've planned out a bunch of your images like this is on this paper, you're going to get a ruler. Now, rulers, like at first glance, they're pretty simple to use, but actually there's some tricky things you've got to think about when you're creating a grid like this with the ruler. So first of all, I'm going to put a border around the edge because I like how she has this X situation here, and I'm going to leave room around the whole outside for that. So I'm going to line up the small edge of my ruler with the outside of the paper. And what that does is that makes sure that this line is going to be parallel to the side of the paper. Okay, and I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. So I'm going to bring this around, and it's up to you. Maybe you make this one a little thicker. And let me just make sure it's lined up. Take the time to line it up, because otherwise you'll have weird crooked lines. So, and this one I'll make a little thinner. And then this one I'll go thicker again. Can you guys see this? I'll go darker, sorry. Alright, so there's lines like this on all 4 sides. I'm not sure if you can see them. I'll go darker from now on. You do want to go lightly though, because you may want to erase. Now from here, I'm going to decide what's going to go where in this space. So I'm going to have a lobster. So I'm going to have a long rectangular shape for the lobster. So I'm going to line my ruler up on this line I made before. And I'm going to make myself a rectangle here that will fit my lobster in it. Okay, so I'm making one shelf of my cabinet, kind of. All right. And that goes right to this outside line, which you can't see because it's not dark enough. I'll go over it. There you go. You want to use the ruler if you go over it, because otherwise yours will be a little bubbly like mine. And then next I'm going to do corn on the cob. I'm going to make my corn on the cob kind of smaller. So I'm going to make a little section here for my corn on the cob. Okay. And then a really important part of my lobster dinner with family, my favorite part, is my little pup who is underneath the table hanging out. So I'm going to make a section for him. So I'm going to make it come a little lower here. Actually, I'll continue. I might actually have this box come underneath this box, because it doesn't need to be perfect, but I do want to line this up with the top of the paper so that that line is straight. So I'm going to get a box in here. I'm going to come across, and then that's where Rusty's going to go. Okay. And then I'd have 2 more things. So I might break this into these 2 more boxes here. And those would be my 4 spaces to work with. Now, in addition to making these boxes, stay with me guys, I'm also going to make some of these lines a little thicker. Because you'll see some of her lines are a little thicker than others. She plays with that a bit. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make this line a little thicker here. And that one I'm going to leave black when I go on to the printmaking. So you might want some areas where you have thicker lines. And maybe you have some borders between things. So this one has a funny overlap. So I'm going to kind of continue this line down. And in here later I'll put a pattern. Okay? So for today, you can finish your sketches. And then once you're finished with your sketches, you can move on to planning out your grid